Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent, and we're going to talk about some of the Vechain latest news, what has been going on out there in the marketplace, and I want to kick things off with something that I think is really important, right? If you're new, never heard of Vechain, or somebody said to you how you should get onto Vechain, always start with the website, white paper, news, literally go through this whole thing, because it's really important for you to know what you invest in. Too many people just go trust their friends. Then the friend bails out on it because they get bored or they change their mind all of a sudden. So then you change your mind. So what's really important is to do your own research. I cannot stress that enough. Now, I want to kick off by talking about a particular topic that was covered off in May. And sometimes, we're towards the end of June now, and I feel very passionate that, what happened in May almost feels like it was like 12 years ago. So Vechain files patent with USPTO for carbon recording and trading based on blockchain. There is a specific reason why a lot of us out there in the internet space say that Vechain is one of the most undervalued blockchain projects out there in 2021. And this is one of those classic examples as to why Vechain is one of the most underrated projects out there in the blockchain space in 2021. These kind of patents, the work behind the scenes, not what you can see today, right now in front of you, the touch from Vechain, but the work behind the scenes that is going on and the kind of blockchain that Vechain truly is and the problems that it solves. It is literally one of the best. And I've said it on the channel that Vechain could be the one. It could be the one that breaks everything in 2021 and smokes them all. And these are some of the research that you got to do. You got to research into this. You got to understand this. And if you do understand this, and I think you and I will probably come back to the same answer. And if we don't, I respect you anyway. I love all of you, the good, the bad, and the ugly comments. I appreciate every single one of you because at the end of the day, you are part of the Serpent community. And Sunny Lu, the Vechain CEO, said what Vechain is offering to different level of developers. So over here, it talks about how Vechain is doing great in China and it progresses in running as Vechain is adopted by large Chinese companies and governments. And again, this has again been mentioned. It was mentioned earlier in the week and by tweets and this and that. And you got to take these things, right? You got to take those little key words, little key phrases. These are all part of your research and how you research like a serpent, which I covered off in the Adelaide event that I ran where we had cameras there and everything. You're going to search like a serpent, right? The company and the articles are not going to spell it out for you. It's not going to say, hi, in 3 days' time, we will announce a major partnership. No, you got to read between the lines and make your own judgment. And so over here, it talks about, how level 0 public blockchain tech outsources and what can build whatever you want to build, and loads of cool features. And it just talks about how it's a developer's dream, the blockchain system that Vechain offers to companies. Now, Bitcoin is one step closer to mass adoption, plus Nasdaq Bitcoin Index, Vechain, and Neo update. I like, when these type of articles reference, other videos that are out there. And it is important to not just take your sources from one place. It's important to have multiple people that you look into and research. And I know some of you guys do, but again, do as much research as you possibly can. But at some stage, also, you got to lick the stamp and send it. And as Daniel Ricciardo says in Formula 1, at some stage, you may over-research. But once you feel pretty good about a project, then it is time to go on in. Securities.io has a brilliant article. This was written about 4 weeks ago. This thing would have taken absolute ages to make. It would have taken absolute ages to make. And the reason why is because it is so in-depth. So in-depth. It is absolutely brilliant. What is Vechain? The philosophy, how it works, Internet of Things, history, Joule token, Vechain token, and it goes on and on and on. And it is so good, so good. Highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommend for you to read it. I don't know who David Hamilton is, but you deserve a medal because it is so well written that these are the kind of things, these are the kind of research things that you got to do when you're thinking about joining something. Now, VET, or Vechain, as we call it. VET is working on revolutionizing supply chain management through asset digitalization on the blockchain. We provide every single piece of info about the supply chain movement of a product, so quality and authenticity don't come into question. A lot of you have asked, like, what does it mean? What does Vechain do? And you gotta read up on it. I'm not gonna just hand over to you the answer, right? It's about having quality and authenticity without a shadow of a doubt on the blockchain. That's what we're talking about. That is exactly what we are talking about. And it is so important about decentralized truth. Once it's on the blockchain, that's it. It's on the blockchain. You cannot get it out of there. So it's really, really important to do your research and really, truly understand what is going on out there in the marketplace. So crucial. I cannot stress that enough. If you are yet not able to simply explain it to a friend, a relative, a colleague, what Vechain is, then you haven't done enough research, because you got to do that. And that will give you a lot of clarity around the future and the longevity of Vechain. Let's jump into a tiny. Let's see what some of the indicators are telling us today. All right, so when we look at the hourly and the daily charts, let's start with the daily chart when it comes to Vechain. So I am happy to report that the MACD has moved into a bullish segment, and we have an RSI sort of sitting towards the bottom. And with the Bollinger Band, sitting towards, very similar to the XRP Bollinger Band, it's sitting towards, the bottom end. Now, when we go into the hourly chart, we can have a look here and see that everything right now took a hit, like on the hourly. But the hourlies don't always paint a proper picture. So then we got to zoom out into the 4 hour. And on the 4 hour, we are still in a bullish trend. So it is still trending up. Now, when we go 12 hour, the trend is very, very bullish. There is quite a gap between the two, so we do need to take that into consideration. And on the daily, as I said, it has jumped into a bullish segment. Now, Vechain is one of those that, when Bitcoin does go down, Vechain does take quite a big hit. But as soon as Bitcoin goes back up, then Vechain really, really ramps it up and is one of the first to move from a volume perspective. Now, we are waiting to see about the mainnet third birthday announcement and a potential China announcement coming out, or a major news outbreak coming out. Haven't had it yet, so we're not going to talk about that. We're only going to talk about what we see. And what we see here is that from a indicators and trends point of view, you can tell that from the indicators and everything that we're seeing over here at the moment, that we are trending up. So we are in an up trajectory. That does not mean that if Bitcoin takes a dive, then Vechain wouldn't take a dive as well. That's why let's go into the drawings and let's see what they tell us. Okay, so when we look at the Vechain drawings and what's been going on over here at the moment, there is a particular critical break that we need to make at around the 10 cents mark, which we haven't hit yet. We went close, but then we came back down. So we're looking for a above 10 consolidation, and then I think we're going to be very, very nicely positioned. Now, from a formation point of view on the weekly chart, and this is why it's really important to have an outlook out there, I think 752% rise from where we are right now is absolutely not out of the question. And beyond, because I think $1 and $1.10 will be the likely outcomes of a 2021 bull run for Vechain, if not more, because we don't really know too much at the moment about just how deep the Vechain China collaboration is and what that will do to the price tag. So, and again, no Coinbase as well. We're factoring all of that in. So the move that we're making at the moment, there are a couple of things that we need to look out for. And I think, going back into the 23 cents will be very important, breaking above, going into the 30s and beyond. And the momentum that it will kick in will be very strong. So we do have a 10 cents resistance. We need to be above 10 cents to continue our upward trajectory. Unless, if that does not happen, then there could be a very, very likely chance of another chance at getting Vechain at 6 cents, which I don't know about you, but I would be backing up the truck and start getting a lot of Vechain at that price tag. Now, not financial advisor, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying be on the lookout, because until we break above 10 and support above 10, we still could go back down to 6 cents. And that is really, really important to look at. I showed this a couple of weeks ago about what this could look like, how we go towards 60 cents. So to be on the lookout for that. And at the moment, this is the sort of kind of formation that we're building. So breaking out of here will be very, 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 very important. So again, I hope you enjoyed tonight's Vechain video. If you did learn something new today, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I can't wait to see what this China major news announcement is for Vechain. And as soon as it comes out, I'll be right here to tell you all about it. Thank you.